Hello everybody and welcome to another video. So this is part 2 of the India series. So if you haven't watched part 1, I suggest, if you want to, that you go check that one out first. So I'm currently sitting in our hotel room here in Raipur. Yesterday we flew over from Assam because we were visiting Kanha National Park, and oh my goodness, it was so beautiful there. It was so luscious and green and almost tropical, but here it's so dry and dead. It is the middle of winter, so that's kind of what we were expecting. In fact, we were very surprised to see how green Kaziranga was. But today we are heading over to the next national park of this wildlife-centered holiday, which is Kanha, and it's a really famous one here in India, so I'm so excited about it. But we are currently in the middle of the city and we have a long drive ahead of us, so let's go fetch a taxi. And so we left the city behind us, driving through little villages lined with tiny shops, busy street stalls, wandering cows, and people going about their everyday lives, with the constant sound of hooting all around us. The road slowly became quieter as we passed through a beautiful wildlife corridor on our way to the lodge we'd be staying at, called Kanha Jungle Camp. And that's where we're going to be staying. So this is what the family suite looks like, and this is just the living and dining room. These are really cool lights. So there's actually 3 bedrooms, which is really cool because now we all get our own, and this is the one my parents will be staying in. Oh my goodness, the birds outside are going crazy. I don't know if you guys can hear them. They also have these little outdoor areas. It's so pretty out here. Then we have my brother's bedroom. It looks like all these rooms have very unique murals on the walls. It's pretty much the same layout as the last. And then last, but definitely not least, we have mine. Oh, I love all these murals so much. They're so cool. And this one also pretty much looks the same as the rest. Also, sorry about the background noise. It's just the ceiling fans. I just realized I haven't shown you guys any of the bathrooms. This place is so nice and the camp is absolutely beautiful. I also really love all these artworks. They are so unique. And fun fact, but Kanha is actually where the story The Jungle Book is based, so that's kind of cool. But anyway, I am absolutely starving, so I think now we're going to head over to lunch. We then headed to reception, where I found even more beautiful artworks before making our way to the restaurant for a delicious traditional lunch. I also loved how many windows were in here. It's so beautiful. This probably won't come as a surprise to anyone, but my brother has literally already found a snake. I don't think anyone else would have seen it.
And this is the perfect spot where you expect to see. I mean, it's like, wet.
I was walking, I heard something, and then I just checked this humongous thing.
Well done, Yash. Lunch was absolutely delicious, and I cannot believe my brother has already found a snake. It's apparently called a checkered keelback, by the way. But now, it's a butterfly. Our guide has kindly offered to take us on a walk, so let's go see what we can find.
And this plant name is a colourful. This plant is a totally green, and the inside is a crab hunting grass. Because of the tribe.
Later that evening, we had tea while watching a short presentation about the national park. Afterwards, we headed to dinner before finally settling down for the night. We We set off early the next morning for our first game drive, heading straight towards where the last tigress had been spotted, within the route and zone we had been allocated and confined to in the park, which is something quite unique about India's national parks and very different from what I'm used to back in Africa.
We started in Kasiranga, now we're on 60 birds.
Wow. You see any tiger there?
No, but we went there for rhino and elephants.
Wow.
We saw multiple new and interesting animals we had never encountered before in India. One of the smaller but still fascinating ones being an Indian ruddy mongoose, starting its morning by sniffing around for breakfast. Most likely insects, small reptiles or eggs. It's mostly solitary in nature and also known for its sharp chattering calls used to warn others or communicate while moving through the undergrowth. It paused briefly to look at us before slipping quietly back into the brush. We also spotted a gaur, the Indian bison, which we were so excited to finally see in person. As well as multiple peacocks, which, just in case you didn't know, are indigenous to India. Even so, in the beginning they still felt slightly out of place. After driving for a while, we then stopped for a quick traditional breakfast before continuing on. First tiger. It's gonna cross. Goodness. Then we found one, our first tiger. And I feel like this moment kind of speaks for itself, so I'm just gonna keep quiet now.
Okay, hold down. Okay, hold down, hold down, hold down.
We were very lucky to meet this female just as she was about to cross the road, and on our very first game drive. I still can't believe it. I'm so excited that I've finally seen my first tiger in the wild. On our way back, we saw a huge sounder of wild boars, which can grow surprisingly large and are among some of the most adaptable mammals in the whole world. Looking at it.
18.
18.
To count?
You count?
One is there. अठारह से ज़्यादा हैं अब गिनती बनेंगे
We've got nothing like that in South Africa. Warthog's always just like 4 or 5.
Oh, एक पीछे से गया देखो 19
21 minutes. Oh my goodness, that was an amazing game drive. The reserve is so beautiful and I'm so excited about the fact that I've just seen my first tiger in the wild, and it was such a good sighting because it literally walked right next to the car. Every morning and afternoon we drive through a small village on our way to the park gate, giving us a little glimpse into local life before heading off in search of wildlife. We spent multiple days here in Kanha, and since there's far too much to include from every single game drive, I decided to compile all of our best sightings for you guys.
In India, we call the jackal wedding.
Yes.
On our game drives, we saw multiple long-doo monkeys, and this one seems to be taking his modeling career very seriously. In the end, we actually saw quite a few tigers. Kanha is one of India's great tiger conservation success stories, with around 140 tigers living in the reserve today, thanks to decades of habitat protection and anti-poaching efforts. On this particular day, it was surprisingly hot for winter, and this female decided to cool herself off in the water. In fact, that's one of the best ways to look for tigers, as the guides know they're likely to be near water sources when the temperatures start to climb. On the way back from our last game drive, we came across a member of the forest department riding on an elephant. These elephants are often used to help staff monitor wildlife and access areas that would be difficult to reach by vehicle, but we thought this was so interesting. Another interesting thing we found was this giant arch made from the antlers of various deer species. It had an interesting story behind it. People once set fire to the forest while searching for shed antlers, and these were later collected. Here at Kanha, we managed to get our bird list up to 90 species, including our sightings from Kaziranga, bringing us one step closer to our goal of 150.